See, we was taught wrong. See, I live in reality. I don't live in you showing me a graphic image of somebody and saying, "Oh God, man, we gotta just World War III," cause y'all ain't bought all that.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the second half of this video. Okay, I'm gonna read a comment. So I'm gonna butcher his name, so I'm just gonna put the name here. Thank you for the comment. I'm gonna read the comment. I need my glasses. Specs. The narrative I find with a lot of African Americans is a defeatist one from the jump. They have been sold this nonsense about oppression even when opportunities stare them in the face, waiting to be taken. I see it daily and it irks me to my soul. I'm Nigerian immigrant with limited privileges to work and travel, yet I do better than natural born citizens. The catch here, many of these folks just aren't aspiring or ambitious enough, but have amazing energy towards trauma of slavery, discrimination, and oppression, which is quite untrue in these times. So this is the oppression thing. So, right. He has limited opportunities, right? He doesn't have all the opportunities we have here, right? From the jump, we are already privileged because we're in America. He has decided not to play victim to his circumstances and still succeed. But we are still doing this nonsense about we're oppressed. The amount of comments I think that we've gotten where people are like, "Oh my gosh, you know, I still have to try 10 times harder than the white man," and all this kind of stuff. It's getting to the point where even people from other countries are like, "What are you actually talking about?"
Or we just feel like it's new to us to have hard work, and we think it's harder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You read some comment where this guy was like, "I've been able to have a good credit score. I have a good credit score. I'm successful, and even with all of that, I have to say I have to work 10 times harder." And I'm just thinking to myself, or do you just have to work hard?
You work hard.
You know what I mean? Do you think all success is hard? I don't care what rate. Do you think that Bill Gates got there by sitting on his doing 9 to 5?
Right.
No. You have no risk, no reward.
Right.
If you don't really push yourself, and that's for everybody in this country, you have to really push yourself. You're not going to be anything. And I think that the narrative, it's that narrative, and that it's just like when black people say that, I got to work like 6 times harder. Yeah. It's just like, even with this guy, because this guy he likes our show.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying anything bad about what he's saying. What I'm saying is that you worked hard, so you got a reward.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's why. Stop with the other stuff. With I have to work 6 times as hard. I have to do this. Stop it there. You worked hard, and you had a good outcome. Hard work always wins. It always wins for everybody. It may take some people 2 years to get there. It may take someone 10 years, but you'll eventually get there. What I find, though, that when black people are successful and they talk about race like that, I like to call it what Jericho Green calls it. It's called what does he call it?
Guilt.
Survivor's guilt.
Survivor's guilt.
Survivor's guilt. It's what happens when black people are successful in their own right, and because they feel some sort of weird guilt that they're not a part of the oppression train anymore, that they want to make other black people feel good, or I'm still down.
Well, even the guy that said that you were talking about, the guy that said, gosh, I'm sorry, I wish I could pull up the comment. I forgot to pull that up. I didn't think about that until now, but you are right, because he in the beginning of his comment talked about all the great things about himself, which I'm sure are true, right? You know, he's successful and all this stuff. You know, he's got the money, he's doing well for himself, and probably, I think even at one point he said, "I'm doing well, even better than some of my white counterparts," basically. You know, so I'm sitting here reading all of this, and then it's interesting to hear someone admit they have made it, worked hard, and got good results, and still need that oppression talk. He's still, the second half then went into, but I still have to try, 10 times harder as the white man, and I still get looked at, from police. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I was watching Brandon Tatum, and he was saying something like, hard work wins.
Yeah, it does every time.
He's a black man. He's just like, hard work wins. You know, I live in a country where I can be successful
Yeah.
really fast. And the thing is, it's just like I feel like there's these rich black people, and you see them all the time, all the celebrities, and they all still talk about police brutality and all
what are you
this stuff.
talking about?
And they do that because they want everyone to think they're still down.
Right.
They don't want to be called coon, or they
Yeah.
forgot where they came from. So people who are black people who become successful, all of a sudden want to talk about how hard it was to
hard
get
it
there,
was.
as though white people wasn't hard too.
Right.
It's hard to have six figures. Remember
hard.
Kevin Samuel said that? Do you know how many men make six figures?
It's,
White or black. You know what I mean? And he was just like, it's hard to make that kind of money. Yeah, it absolutely is. So if you stay on your grind, no matter what race you are, I watched several Mexican men who literally work 7 days a week.
Every
and they are
day.
living well.
yeah.
And they were talking about the oppression
Yeah, they were talking about
they caught. You know what I mean? And so the thing is, it's just like, yeah, being successful is hard
Yeah.
for anybody.
When I love what this man says, because the part where he says, they have amazing, black people have amazing energy towards the trauma of slavery. So they don't put any energy into, you know, like the success part of it and the positivity part of that and like mastering your craft or, you know, anything like that, or going after the opportunity when it knocks at the door, you know what I mean, answering that door, things like that. But there's a lot of energy put into talking about slavery, oppression, and all of that. Lots of energy into that. Full BLM. We in it. We're going to take to the streets for that. We put our energy in the wrong places.
Well, this feeling of feeling like it's a black thing to be poor.
Right.
And when you're not poor anymore, you're no longer black.
Yeah, you don't look black.
And so what black people like Oprah or people like that do to maintain their blackness is to pretend like
They're part of
like
the...
like they had to work so much harder than who they work with. You know what I mean? And the truth is, no. Many white people are not as rich as Oprah.
No.
Many white people are almost majority of white people aren't as rich as Kanye West,
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian. I mean, sorry, not Kim Kardashian, but Kanye West. All of these like very wealthy blacks.
Black people.
You know what I mean? President Obama. They're not, but they'll sit there and pretend
They'll
like
talk
they're
like
oppressed, and they do that because they even as black people, they want black people to like them.
Yeah. And then like we said in that one video, it's like they know that the trigger words are the discrimination, the oppression, slavery, racism. These are all trigger words that keeps black people in bondage.
Yeah, I was watching.
It keeps us bound to a bunch of BS. And it's like, if we have to unlock our minds, like our minds are on lockdown, you know, and this guy like here is from Nigeria, and he came here and that's interesting because a lot of immigrants that come here don't complain about really anything. They just, when a hurdle happens, they just kind of go over it and assume it. You know what I mean? Like, people who are on the road to success assume there's going to be speed bumps, there's going to be hurdles, there's going to be complications, things are not going to go the right direction. People, they assume it. Ambitious, smart, intelligent people understand that. But it's like other people are just like, well, I didn't get the opportunity because, you know, I'm black. Like, no, you're in America. What are you talking about? That is the opportunity.
I mean, I think Candace Owens said on Uncle Tom, the first Uncle Tom documentary, she said the most successful black people in America are Nigerian Americans because they're not brainwashed by our media.
Yeah.
And the truth is that's true. We are oppressed because we allow ourselves to believe the narrative.
It's true.
We don't want to prove it wrong.
Prove it wrong.
You know what I mean? I was watching, you know, it was like what Jericho Green was saying, like it's like we almost don't want to let go of that past of trauma, because that means that we're like we have to be up here.
Yeah.
And up here there is no room for oppression. There's no room for feeling sorry for yourself. And so if you're not successful, we have this cushion that says the reason why we're not successful is because of slavery.
Yeah.
And don't worry.
We don't take
You know,
accountability.
Don't worry, it's because of slavery. Don't worry that you're not successful. Don't worry that you're a single mother and there's so many black single mothers. Don't worry about that. It's because of Jim Crow. It's they give you all of these these outs,
but
that
we
you
don't take
have to,
we don't take accountability for why you're not succeeding. So that's the part that we miss. That we don't take accountability. Kevin Gates. I don't know much about him. I think he's a rapper.
When I change my people, places, and things, and change my perspective, you know, police speak to me like it's police that done arrested me and all of that. they speak to me now and say they proud of me.
That sounds like the rhetoric that was on that infamous interview that people hated you for, though.
I don't give what they hate, because y'all ain't never committed no crimes. Y'all ain't really did nothing. Y'all don't do nothing, but when y'all get, see, they ain't never been in programs. I've been from the juvenile detention system all the way to the adult jail. So a lot of the sheriffs and the police and deputies, they was prison guards at first. So I know them coming there getting a paycheck before they was road deputies and all of that. So I been knowing me since I was a kid, in and out this bitch revolving door. Ain't nothing to do in Louisiana but go to jail or die. I don't care what people don't like. They got mad when I said I don't support Black Lives Matter, because who they matter to? We kill each other all day. We talk about each other all day. You know who talk about me the most on the internet? You know what's worse than a two of them.
Yes.
Make you don't want to be a own people that look like me. Talk about me like a dog. Kick me when I'm down. Can't wait. look at Gates. Went to jail, they celebrated, clapped their hands, it was happy. I don't look at color and see race no more. I see real and fake, that's it.
So you don't feel like it's like, it's us versus the white man? Or us versus
Man,
the
we was taught wrong. We was taught wrong. I was in my own way. I was self-sabotage. I gotta take accountability for me. See, we was taught wrong. See, I live in reality. I don't live in you showing me a graphic image of somebody and saying, oh God, man, we gotta just World War III. Cause y'all ain't bought all that. That's why it's real and fake. I don't know what color a real person gonna be. I don't know what color a fake person gonna be.
So
Jesse
that.
Lee Peterson has this thing where he says he doesn't believe in racism.
Yeah.
And he thinks it's a spiritual battle between good and evil.
Oh, yeah.
And he said that so it's sort
That's
of
a
kind
hard-
of what Kevin Gates is
saying.
saying is that it's about right or wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The thing that I've said many times before, that the problem with the black community is us.
Yeah.
And we have a hard time accepting the you're like everyone else.
Yeah. We
We
want
don't
to be
want
separate.
it to be that way. You know what I mean? It's just like,
Which makes us not responsible for our own thing.
right.
Like Kevin's saying, like it was me getting myself put in jail. It was me doing that.
when I lost everything
You know?
and had to start all over again, it wasn't because I was a woman and it
No.
wasn't because I was black. It's because Kara made poor decisions with her finances. Now Kara doesn't make poor, but it took me to lose everything to understand that I need to be more responsible for myself and what I do. And this is the thing, is that when you take away self-responsibility from people, you make them into a victim, a big victim class. And this is what the Democratic Party I can't stand, is that they have this way of every 4 years that comes around, they want to give us free stuff. It's really hard for the Republican Party to get people, black people on their side, because it's all about hard work.
Right.
And hard work is a tough sell, especially now, because young people, especially like these Zoomers, they don't want to work hard.
Yeah.
I don't care what race you are. When these Zoomers, they don't want to work hard. Hard work and perseverance is a tough sell.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier, like the Democratic Party, it's a lot easier to say, we're just going to pay for health care, we're going to pay for your college, we're going to pay. You know how many kids are, I want to get my college loans forgiven. Why? You knew when you went to college how much it was going to cost. Now that you've got the degree and it's worthless, you want your money back.
Right.
And you want the taxpayers to pay for it.
Like, no.
No.
This is a sense of no responsibility whatsoever that's gotten us into the mentality that we have. And I think that it's just been doubled down from, black leaders and things like that. All these things have been doubled down, and we just kind of went with it. And that has put us in a mindset where black people actually believe that they are still oppressed. People today are acting as if we are oppressed just like we were in the 50s and 60s. And we know that to be nonsense, yet we still say it. You see what I'm saying? Like we know that's incorrect. Like factually, we can see with our own eyes that is not correct, but we will stick by oppression just so we don't take personal responsibility for ourselves and our community. We have made our community into what it is. We have glorified all of this over sexuality, thug behavior. We've
Poor diet.
Poor diet.
It is amazing to me that we. How much longer are we going to hold on to this sort of white guilt feels sorry for
Yeah.
me. You know what I mean? And we're just gonna go along with it. It's like what that guy was saying in that comment of ours that commented, and he was saying that he was successful, he's a good credit score,
Yeah.
and he makes more money than some of the white people. But then he had to add on, but even me, I had to work 6 times as hard as a
Yeah.
white man. I was like, no, you're saying that because you feel some sort of
Yeah.
guilt for not being in the position of most black people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And also, you're trying to sound down.
Right.
You don't want people to call you what they call us.
Yeah.
Or bedwenches and
Coons.
Because when you tell the truth to black people, they don't like it.
No, so
And
they shut
call
down.
you down.
Yeah, they shut you
Right.
you down. They shut you down with zero facts. You know, and they don't want to hear. Once you start talking about responsibility within yourself and not ever mentioning the white race, you are immediately shut down, especially with black people who are still talking and pushing the oppressive stuff and still talking about slavery as if it happened 2 days ago. You're immediately like, I don't want to hear what you're saying, because I've banked my life on the fact that I am being oppressed, and I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Okay, because in 1619. You know what I mean? We can never talk about the now. We always talk about our present as if it's the past. And we never talk about the fact that maybe the reasons that we are having some problems in our community is not due to white people. Maybe it's due to us. We can't ever even think that thought. That thought is like a fleeing one. You keep yourself oppressed. If you are oppressed, you are keeping yourself that way, number one. And number two, you are simply, what I don't call it oppression, I call it not taking responsibility. Y'all can call it oppression all you want to, but it's not. Oppression to me is a veil of a word just because you don't want to say you're not taking responsibility. That's all it is.
You want to know what's wrong with the black community? Those black community Kevin Gates was talking about, where they shoot each other and no
Yeah.
one seems to care about it. What's wrong with that is father absence, the poor, public educational
Yeah,
system,
right.
and the poor diet that is given to us in those neighborhoods.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That is what it's about. It has nothing to do really with white people. You can say politicians, but most of those politicians that run those places are black politicians, and
Right.
and all of them are Democratic.
All of them.
Politicians, but everyone still blames white people for their poorness, or white people for
Yeah.
the fact that they live in ghettos. It's like, okay, well, if you don't apply yourself and you feel sorry for yourself all the time, then that is where you'll be.
Right.
You know what I mean? No one's saying to you, not in this country, you can do whatever you want in this country.
Yeah.
But if you're going to tell me that it's because those people are poor that they're killing each other, I'm sorry. I don't believe that. I
No.
believe that what it has to do with not enough men in the homes,
Yeah.
not enough women married to men that they make children with, a poor public school system.
idle time.
That graduates
Yeah.
kids who should not, who can't even read at grade level. I was watching the interview with Larry Elder the other day with Candace Owens, and he said, you know what school I went to? I went to the school that was on Boys in the Hood, the Crenshaw High or whatever he went. I went to that school when I was growing up. And she was like, really? He's like, yeah. He said, you know, today only 3% of the people that go to that school can read at grade level. We don't want to talk about school choice, which is what the Republicans talk about all the time, where you can choose the school that your kid goes
Which
to.
is good.
The problem is that these kids have to go to that school,
Right.
Because you live in that neighborhood, and the teachers are crap.
So what if you can take
And
your
they're,
kids to another school?
Right.
Yeah.
The teachers are crap and the students are dangerous. And so what happens is it's just a place to put your kids while you're at work.
Yeah.
And then they come home ignorant, not learning anything.
Yeah.
Then they come home to a mother without a husband, so they're latchkey kids, or they're hanging
Yeah.
out in the streets till their mother gets home. You know what I mean? So if you don't think that's a recipe for a disaster, that's nothing that a white person or a program is going to fix.
No.
That's going to happen when we grow up and realize that our choices, saying Lizzo is fat and proud is not good for the health of black people. Saying that, listening to Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion or any of those women talk about having frivolous sex the way that they do does not help the single mother rate.
Yeah.
Or the abortion rate.
Right.
Over half of the abortions, over half of black pregnancies end in abortion.
It's a genocide.
And if we're not
and we're-
aborting that shit, we're killing each other on the street.
And we're calling it healthcare. The other day, you were like, Kara said something. She was talking about people over here talking about the oppression and the deep oppression of the community and how the white man's trying to get the people and Black Lives Matter and stuff. People are all making those videos about that, right, too, on their $1,300 iPhones.
Yeah, I mean, I watched this girl the other day sitting in
like,
her car,
I'm oppressed.
drinking her pumpkin spice latte from Starbucks, and on her $1,300 phone talking about how she's oppressed all day
What?
and how black people. I was like, you know how many times I've come across videos of black people who are sitting in cars with their fancy little drinks from Starbucks, or you know what I mean, eating takeout food that's expensive.
Talking about racism.
And with their nice little iPhone.
Yeah.
Talking about how oppressed they are. You don't know what oppression is, do you?
Yeah.
Young people, no matter what race they are today. I'm talking about like that Zoomer group.
Yeah.
I don't care what race they are. They're all becoming this.
There's a new like trend going around where young people are saying
It's
your
called,
wage, and
act
they're
your
recording
wage,
themselves.
hashtag act your wage.
Yeah.
I saw this on the Black Conservative Perspectives video, and there's this girl that she went viral, but she's got herself sort of in a office setting, and then she's pretending like she's two people.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Veronica, I'm gonna have you take this home and work on it tonight, okay? Respectfully, Susan, I'd rather spend time with my family. Veronica, did you just decline the Zoom meeting that's at 6:30 tonight? Oh, yeah, I did. I did do that. Yeah, because it's outside of my working hours, 9 to 5, so I won't be attending. All right, Veronica, I do need you to be available during your vacation, okay? Susan, you'll be blocked on my vacation because I won't be answering. Okay, Veronica, I'm gonna need you to complete all of this today. Susan, do I look like two people to you?
No.
Oh, okay, just making sure, because that looks like the work of two people, right? And I'm one. I'm just one person, right? And it's time to go home, 5 o'clock. Hey, thank you, bye.
These kids do not understand that, first of all, you're young.
Right.
You obviously don't have any kids yet. And you don't understand that sometimes in life, you have to take your shit. I know you don't want, as I'm telling you, I'm 46.
Yeah.
There are times in your life where life is going to push you to have to work harder than you're getting paid.
Yep.
I had to start all over. I started off with minimum wage again. You know how hard that was for me? Because I didn't have a car and the place where I worked didn't have a bus line. And so I had to take the job.
Yep.
And therefore, I, at 36, had to start all over at a minimum. And I had to work 6 days a week. And you know what? It taught me a lot. It taught me a lot about myself. I had to wear a uniform everywhere. Like, I haven't ever worn a uniform in my life.
Yeah.
And that was hard for me to have to do. But, you know, and sometimes in life, you're going to have to do stuff that's going to have to humble you and to grow up.
Yeah.
I was acting like I'm entitled. I made way more money before I lost everything. And I treated it like it was nothing. And then I lose everything, and now, you know what I mean? And then I'm wondering why I don't have all this money. Yeah, because you didn't do it right. There's this entitled sort of feeling. I can have sex with whoever I want. I can work where I want. I want to be successful in 1 year. I want to live like Beyonce.
And this is the image that they're pushing this, though. They're making it seem like it's just completely feasible to be, you know, overnight success in a real job and a real passion. It takes time and years.
Danielle and I are just now on the road to 5,000 subscribers. You know how long we've been doing the show? For 3 years.
But the point is that we kept at. See, the people don't want to keep at something. If you don't get the result you want in like a year or maybe even 6 months, sometimes it's just as little as 3 months. If you're not, you think that's too slow, and then you just give up and you quit and you cry and you're mad now. It's like, no, you have to. If you really want to do something and you're passionate about it, you do have to. It takes some time and it takes some effort. But no one wants to put any effort into anything anymore. They want to just be entitled to get it just because you're supposed to be entitled to get it. No, what? No, who said that?
And not only do we have to do this show, but we have to work our other job.
I mean, it's a y'all understand.
You understand? Like that,
It's
that's
a
what
lot.
I'm saying. When people,
Yeah.
when the guy was saying that, that you know, I even when I had to work twice as hard, even with all my success, I had to work twice as hard. Well, guess what? Me too. I work 7 days a week, including this show.
I'm not complaining.
Somewhere in the world, there are lots of white people doing the exact same thing. You know what I mean? At some point, you have to take responsibility for yourself.
Which is the point of Kevin Gates. That was the point of him saying that. Like, look, I can't be worried about other people. I can't be worried about what they're doing.
Which is why I said, like,
Yeah.
that one video we did where I said, what happens to a lot of people is that they don't get around other people. They're
Yeah.
stuck in these, like, depressed neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And they bounce off their negative energy off each other. And most people don't even really know white people.
Right.
And what Kevin's trying to say is he now knows.
Knows.
Because, like I said, that's why a lot of these basketball players are now a lot less weird around white people because they don't live in the hood anymore.
Yeah, they're like, I'm out of there.
You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
We have to take personal responsibility for our lives, you guys. And I think that we can't keep boohooing and crying over this. I just, you know, and I know because we get, you know, the comments that we get when we start talking about oppression and all this racism talk. There are so many, we still have a lot of work to do as Black people because our minds are still locked. There are people actually still believe that they are oppressed like the 50s. There are people who actually believe these things. And when the opportunities are right there, we get the same opportunities than everybody else. The only person that's holding you back will be you. If this Nigerian man can come to America and, you know, he doesn't, you know, he's not saying he's rich in Nigeria. He came to America and the opportunity, you know what the opportunity was for him? Was that he's in America.
Oppression is a lot easier
Yeah.
to sell than hard work and persevere.
Yeah.
It just is. If you tell someone that they work really hard and they persevere, or you give them the option of feeling oppressed
Yeah.
all the time, they'll
Right.
go with that because that's a lot easier and you can complain and you can remain.
Complain
You know what I
and
mean?
remain. That's correct.
You know what I mean? It's like there's only so far you can go with that mentality.
And I know a lot of people disagree with us. This from our comments alone when we talk about this. I know a lot of people disagree with us when we talk about this because a lot of people feel like, no, there is systemic racism. You know, people want to, they're going to throw out the big words. Those are the words that those are the trigger words. Y'all know we have Black community, we have trigger words. Trigger phrases and words that we have. And that's a big one. But how is it that so many Black people have succeeded with this alleged racism, this alleged oppression? How did they do it? Somehow, there are a ton of Black people in this country that are so successful.
And most people say
You
that
know?
those Black people are successful because of white people. But that is the reason, though, why those Black people
right.
say that they have to work twice as hard. Is because
Right.
they don't want you to think. They don't
Yeah.
want you to say that to them.
Yep.
They want to say, I can tell you, Oprah Winfrey probably just wants to say, I'm successful, and,
Yeah.
and they just say, I worked hard.
Yeah.
That's why I got up and I worked 7 days a week, and I didn't, you know what I mean? But she knows that if she says that to the majority of Black people, what they're going to say is, oh, you sell out to the white man.
Okay.
That's what you did. So what she has to do, just like most of all Black people, most of Black successful people, is they go ahead and keep up with the slavery and the oppression thing, so that the minority, the masses of Black people can still respect them.
Yeah.
I never see poor white people get mad at rich white
Ever.
people.
I've never
Not
seen that.
really. Like they don't go, you sell out. I don't see
You
Hispanic.
don't- you won't.
I don't see Hispanic people doing that. I don't
Well,
see Asian people doing that. You know, I mean, it's
It's
just
like Kevin though said that we've been taught, like he said that we've been taught wrong, and he's right. We have been taught wrong. This is why I'm always saying that we need to unlearn and relearn. We literally have to. Black people have to unlearn everything and then relearn the truth. And then once that happens, then that's when you'll start saying, "Oh, why was I saying I was oppressed?" Yeah. So, anyways, thank you for that comment. I really appreciate that comment. It really is very eye-opening. Please let us know what you think about this. I know a lot of people don't agree with us when we talk about this. A lot of people don't agree with us, but still, we would like to hear what you have to say. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and we will see you guys next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.